Live from Fargo and serving you on TV, online, and on the go. This is Valley News Live at 5.
I was passing through, and it's not every day you see a giant house sit in the middle of an intersection.
If you were out on Fargo roads today, you may have been stalled by large houses on wheels. Valley News Team's Rose Itzkovitz tracked the houses' movement through the day and has their setbacks and ultimate destination.
Just your regular everyday house. On wheels, that is.
I've seen some houses move before, but not in the middle of the intersection like this. Was kind of surprising, I guess.
We followed the houses all morning, first on 40th Avenue South, then 31st Street. We're told the 4 large buildings moved throughout town actually made up 2 houses and 1 garage. They were moved from here on Copperfield Court. The houses were bought out by the city as part of the diversion project.
We've been waiting to move these houses pretty much all winter. It was kind of a cold winter, and then spring thaw. We had to wait for them to move.
Then a couple hours later, on 52nd Avenue and 25th Street, a setback. Workers say this part of the house slid off its axle. When we caught up with them, they'd been stuck for about an hour and a half. Onlookers watched at the nearby gas station.
I was passing through, and it's not every day you see a giant house sit in the middle of an intersection.
I saw it along the frontage road earlier this morning, and so I'd be surprised if they get to their destination today.
And it's been a slow journey, but one that ends here off County Highway 17 in Horace for at least one of the houses. And guys, believe it or not, we are still out here. There's a house right over here. We're just trying to move because we're moving with the house here. We have been out here since about 9:30 this morning, you know, back and forth a little bit, kind of following these houses. The officials say they thought they'd be done by noon to 1 o'clock, but officials tell us they've had a couple of setbacks, including that one where the house fell off its axle. So now we're just watching. You can see this very small median in the middle that they're rolling over here, just trying to get through. Officials have been very carefully moving these houses all day. If you can see, I don't quite think you can, but on the other side here, we have a yield sign and a street lamp that are down. Officials all day have been knocking things over just to kind of move them out of the way strategically to get these houses moving. We're told that they're hoping that these houses are going to be in Horace at their final resting place by 6 p.m. So they say it's going to be faster moving from this point on. So you know we're going to keep you live and updated with this around 5:30 and also at 6 o'clock, maybe even in Horace to let you know where they landed. But either way, we will keep you posted. Right now, we are still in Fargo. Live in Fargo, Rose Itzkovitz, Valley News Live. Back to you in the studio.
All right, thanks, Rose. The other house will also end up in another rural Horace location. Residents from a South Fargo apartment complex are back in their homes this evening after a fire on the 3rd floor caused them to evacuate this afternoon. It happened on the 4800 block of 28th Avenue South. An official with the Fargo Fire Department tells us they got a call about smoke billowing from the 3rd floor of the apartment complex. By the time they got there, a sprinkler system had already put out most of the fire. The person who lives there wasn't home at the time.
There is some water damage from what I've been told to the floors directly below this one. This is, of course, on the 3rd floor, so water went down to the 2nd and 1st floors.
Investigators are working on a cause. There is water damage to apartments below where the fire started. A Moorhead man charged with sexual assault in Burleigh County has been put on administrative leave from North Dakota State University. 44-year-old Viet Doan was charged Wednesday with 2 counts of sexual assault. He's accused of touching a minor in November while in Bismarck. An NDSU spokesperson says Doan is the director of Enrollment Management Administrative Systems for the university and has been with NDSU since 2015. We have a calm and quiet evening, a nice way to get us ready for the weekend. We're wondering if the rain will hold off this evening. Here's Justin with your No Wait weather. Justin?
And thank you, Andrea. Good evening, everybody. Yes, we are seeing very isolated rainfall across the region as of right now. Otherwise, we are seeing partly cloudy to mostly sunny skies. Here's where we're seeing the rain right now as you make your way from Detroit Lakes down toward the Fergus Falls area, and in between some light showers. Also, another batch of rain just south of Valley City, James Jamestown and as you make your way up into the Devil's Lake Basin. Current temperatures around the region have warmed up a little from yesterday into the upper 50s and lower 60s in most places as the wind is breezy, but it's from a southerly direction, seeing wind speeds 15 to 30 miles per hour. So we will see partly cloudy skies through the evening and mainly clear skies overnight, and there's always a chance of an isolated shower over the next few hours. Temperatures falling back from near 60 to near 50 through the evening. So we'll tell you what to expect with another rain chance this weekend, a nice Mother's Day, and warming up nicely to start the next work week. That's coming up a little later on in the newscast.
All right, thanks, Justin. It's time for a look at this week's Valley's Most Wanted. Police say 30-year-old Diana Lopez is wanted for robbery and a probation violation on an aggravated assault charge. You can call your local law enforcement if you have any information on her. A 17-year-old boy is now serving 5 years in jail after posting pictures of himself holding guns on Facebook. Court documents state the Ponsford teen admitted to buying a firearm, taking pictures of it, and then posting the photos on Facebook in an attempt to show it off to his friends. Back in 2017, the then 14-year-old was charged with felony first-degree burglary and was prohibited from possessing a firearm. The teenager will spend 60 months in prison in St. Cloud. The next court appearance for the man accused of killing 4 people at a Mandan business has now been delayed. Chad Isaak was supposed to have a preliminary hearing earlier this week, but it's been rescheduled for August 12th so that attorneys have more time to review evidence. Isaak is charged in the murder of RJR Maintenance and Management co-owner Robert Fackler and 3 workers in Mandan. Police say they were shot and stabbed. Isaak is a Washburn chiropractor who lived on property managed by RJR, but police have not yet identified a motive. He faces up to life in prison. Restricting free speech comes at a cost that North Dakota's university system isn't willing to pay. Valley News Team's education reporter Veronica Marshall examines NDSU's newly proposed policy to address students' free speech rights and talks to experts about the loopholes it still has.
But it was far enough away from home for me to be like a new beginning.
Alex Schmitz moved to Fargo from Oaks, so joining the Campus Republicans Club allowed her to make new friends and fit in quickly. But she says she didn't come to college to only reinforce the ideas she already has. She came to experience new things, and hearing different viewpoints is a big part of that.
Free speech is important to all of us because we don't want to live in a big echo chamber, right? So having that free speech makes us unique in that we can hear from all different sides.
Now, those free speech rights are on their way to gaining new protection. There's a new federal push to protect those rights, and schools who don't have a policy on the matter could lose funding. Now, North Dakota's Board of Higher Education is looking into creating a specific policy to protect students' free speech rights.
All in all, this is a good change for NDSU for both sides. I'm sure that the Democrats would support it too.
The document is a good one, and if it goes through and becomes final, it would seem to be a good development for free speech on campus.
But experts point out the proposed policy does have some flaws.
If the university anticipates that there will be a lot of disagreement or protest against that, that it will impose security fees based on that opposition. And so this is concerning because what it means is that students are basically being billed or potentially being billed because of the viewpoints of those who disagree with them.
Citizens should not be retaliated for their speech.
Because experts say when certain voices are punished or silenced, they don't actually go away.
We should be just in general more open to different opinions, try to incorporate those opinions, try to exercise more listening and understanding, because opinions do not go away. Because you dismiss their opinions, they will come back in different forms, probably in more aggressive forms.
And the importance of that dialogue is something Schmitz has already learned to appreciate.
We can come together with college Democrats and have an event and talk to each other without screaming at each other and saying, you know, we have those issues where we disagree, but I see where you're coming from, and we can still be friends at the end of the day.
In Fargo, Veronica Marshall, Valley News Live.
Free speech experts also have concerns about NDSU's proposed policy and how it handles student harassment and free speech, saying the current definition is too vague. For more on the proposed policy, visit our website, valleynewslive.com. We have a traffic alert for people living in the Grand Forks area. Crews will be closing University Avenue from Princeton Street to Columbia Road on Monday, May 13th at 7 in the morning. This closure is part of a reconstruction project on University Avenue. The entire project is expected to last into late August. River levels are receding to a safer level, so the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office has lifted the Red River closure throughout the county. Public access points are now open, but authorities say caution is still strongly advised. Water levels continue to fall and hazardous debris may still be submerged. If you have any concerns about the river, they can be reported to the Grand Forks County Sheriff's Office, 780-8280. Minnesota's DNR expects great conditions for Saturday's fishing opener. The fishing opener marks the day that fishing can begin for walleye, northern pike, and trout in Minnesota lakes. The Minnesota DNR is doing what it can to make sure all anglers are prepared for this Saturday, saying it's positive that there are higher water levels across the area.
And then what will happen is those fish move in from the colder water, the deeper, colder water. They move into the shallows in the spring because that water's warmer.
The DNR says anglers are hoping for warmer weather this weekend, with all signs pointing toward a good opener. The junk market is back again at the Red River Valley Fairgrounds in West Fargo, with 100 vendors showing off their locally made items. Junk Market has everything you could dream of, from antiques and repurposed furniture to handmade jewelry and food. It's a place where you can bring your entire family and enjoy looking at all the different trinkets.
It is super fun. I mean, you always find such unique pieces that it's kind of like hunting for those unique treasures. So it's a good, fun event to be able to shop and support the local vendors as well.
General admission is $5 this Saturday and Sunday.